24 hours ago, of course, we saw some questionable penalties awarded. The opening Barca goal, should it have stood for you, Craig?
No. And I thought there was a clear push. Well, it wasn't clear, actually, in first viewing. And that's why I've got VAR.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was a lot of bumping around in the box. But I felt the two hands were up. There was a shove on the defender, a clear shove on the defender. And that allowed them to win the ball. VAR, obviously, as it does, checks all these things. And lo and behold, I could see no infringement. So I personally thought it was a free kick.
Yeah, this was a strange one, wasn't it, Frank? Because as Craig mentioned, in real time, maybe you didn't see it. But surely once you see that replay in the VAR booth, you've got to say it's a foul.
Yeah, that's what should be the VAR, you know, to correct some mistakes and make sure that we make the right decision. And the ref didn't, and the people in the VAR didn't see it. I agree with Craig. I mean, you have to see the whole picture. You know, it's a corner kick. You know that some people they touch it, or they push themselves, you know, or they push each other. But in that case, Lenglet pushed his opponent very strongly, and before the ball comes to him, and put Koulibaly, his opponent puts himself, Koulibaly, on the floor, and it's a clear open door for Lenglet, who can just adjust the header. So when you see that on the VAR, you say, well, okay, that's a penalty. Even if the opponent doesn't play the ball, if he doesn't even look at the ball, there is a mistake, there is a big push, and you're not allowed to push players with your two hands. So, free kick.
And then they did get a decision right in awarding the penalty, Ali, later on. But it took so long for the referee to go over to the monitor.
And the one play that you didn't really need to have the referee go see it in the monitor is the one that they actually had Clement Lenglet go ahead. Hey, buddy, we need you to come and take a look at this one. What was the question? Where was the doubt? Koulibaly takes a full swing and nearly takes the leg off of Messi. It's a penalty, 100%, no doubt about it. And yet that's the one that we're going to go and take a look at. It was so confusing to me that he doesn't go and take a look at the two-handed push, or that he doesn't go and take a look at the handball, eventual handball by Lionel Messi in the goal that was taken back. And instead, he goes and takes a look at the one that was so clearly obvious that him going and taking a look at it was simply a waste of time. We all knew it was a penalty. It should have been a penalty, and it should have been seen right away by Clement Lenglet in the moment it happened.
Ali mentioned in there the goal that was disallowed, and there is an angle that shows that Messi did handle the ball across the line. Frank, you said, now I don't know if this was tongue-in-cheek before we started, that Messi should have told the ref that he did handball it and he should just get on with things.
Yes, and I said that to Ali before the show, and Ali is a striker too, so they're all cheaters. We all know that. So they know how to fall on the floor. They know to not say the truth. And he didn't say that. He said, no, there is the VAR. They have to do it, and they have to find it. We're not going to tell them that we touched the ball with the hand. So yeah, we would have gained like 3 minutes.
Frank, you wouldn't have told them. If you scored a handball goal, you wouldn't tell the referee. They'd have to find out for themselves.
At my time, no, because the VAR didn't exist, or you could escape from there. But then, now, you cannot escape from it. So Messi knows that.
Yeah,
everybody knows that.
Yeah, you can.
No, well, you normally cannot. You know, if you know that you touch with your hand, normally...
Then Lenglet escaped from his goal. He escaped from the two-handed push. So you just let VAR do their job. And guess what? There are times in which they're not going to do their job, and Lenglet got away with it.
Yeah, I'm maybe too naive or honest. I don't know. I'm maybe too frank. That's my problem.
Oh, good.
Well, but the difference there, Ali, is that the push is subjective and the handball is not. That's the difference, because you can argue about, was the push enough of a push? Was it was it just normal contact in the box? Although we all think it's a free kick, that's a subjective call. The handball is not a subjective call. It's either handball or it's not. What we should remember here is that, you know, the referees, and we've talked about this, it's not the referee's fault if he doesn't go to the monitor. He's waiting for the instruction from VAR to tell him whether he should go to the monitor or not. I think what should happen here, the referee should say in the mic, look, is it a big call? Is there any doubt there? And he should just go over. Unfortunately, at the moment, what we have is a referee who's waiting on instructions whether he goes to the monitor or not.
Craig, there's no way when you were playing and if you scored a goal, you'd say, sorry, referee, that came off my hand. Don't worry about looking at the VAR. Just get
No,
on
but
with
I
things.
can see what Frank says in terms of quickening up the game, because once you see that, you're going to... I mean, it's never going to happen, but once you see it, it's going to be ruled out by VAR because it's black and white, isn't it? It's either a handball or it's not a handball. We've seen some of these goals being brought back this season for the most accidental handballs and innocent handballs you could ever see on a football field. But VAR has picked it up and it's turned back. But yeah, it's never going to happen. I suppose even Thierry Henry and knocking the Irish out wouldn't have told the officials if VAR was available.
Now the thing is, it's not that. It's that the fact that you know you're going to be caught. So in case of Thierry Henry, he thought he could escape. But in the case of Messi, with all the cameras around, and they know they're going to check the VAR, they're going to check even on the slow motion, they're going to find out that he touches with the hand. And they found an angle to see that. So why do we waste so many minutes for something that we're going to discover? You know what I mean? It's not about, in that case, football is interpretation. You know, what do you feel and it's subjective. But in that case, we're going to know that he touched with his hand. And it's clear now with the rule, if he touches the hand, that's the end of the story. And we're going to find out. So what's the point to wait?
And
you
I
can't put it on the
doubts,
players.
Dan,
You
about,
cannot put it on the
Koulibaly.
players.
Sorry, Ali. I already had the doubts about Koulibaly. I heard some guys in the commentary, just casting a few. People might be looking at him. He's not had a great game. Obviously, he got caught for the Messi one, which was another incident that was adjudicated by VAR, rightly so, because you get caught on the ball. And here's the sort of modern society that they live in. You're one game away from being the greatest player and one game away from being the worst player. This is a guy who's arguably the most coveted centre-back in the world at the moment, and he has an average game at best by his standards. And all of a sudden, he's not worth the money. Welcome to 2020.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.